Hi, welcome. I'm Kishore Polani. This is a short video about Network Miner created for Cypher and self-interest. Network Miner is a network forensic analysis tool which primarily works for Windows. It can also work for Linux and Mac OS X systems. It is a passive network sniffer and packet capturing tool. It has the capability of parsing PCAP files. It gives us information just mostly host centric rather than the network traffic as a whole. This information is helpful in collecting evidences for a forensic investigation. In this video, I'm going to analyze the features of the free tool followed by a live demonstration using a simple challenge. Some of the capabilities of the free edition of the tool are live sniffing, which allows us to capture packets over the network, but it is limited due to the buffer size. It has the capability to parse PCAP files very quickly at a rate of 0.581 MB per second. It can receive packet capture over Internet Protocol. It can also perform OS fingerprinting, which is very useful in any forensic investigation. Some of the forensic use cases of this tool are network discovery. It allows us to see information about all the hosts by connecting a packet sniffer to a network tap of a switch located at the central point of any network. It is also helpful in investigating rogue hosts. Based on the traffic captured, it can find out known hosts and new unknown hosts, thereby finding the host which is actually compromised. Most of the rogue hosts nowadays are sending packets through wireless network. So it's recommended to analyze the wireless network traffic. It not only allows us to see what an attacker did, but it can also allow us to reconstruct the files which have been involved in the communication. It works primarily for FTP, HTTP and SMB protocols. It also allows us to evaluate how much data is disclosed to the network. And also it can give information not only about the email messages, but it can also show which passwords are shared over the network. This process is called data seepage. It allows an attacker to plan an attack based on the available information. It can also be helpful in finding malicious activities like finding a malware like Trojan, Hexrat, and so on. And it can also be helpful in discovering vulnerabilities based on the host-based traffic generated by the tool. Here are some of the interesting reads based on this tool. First one is the observing the HEVX-RAT. HEVX-RAT is nothing but a malware created by it is publicly reported that 3 vendors have spread this remote access toolkit to the network. This article shows you how they used Network Miner to identify this malware based on the network traffic. The next one is analyzing man-in-the-middle attacks on Google. This article gives technical analysis about the man-in-the-middle attacks performed by Chinese on the SSL encrypted traffic, which is between a Chinese university and Google. This article clearly shows how the analysis or the data captured by the tool confirms that this is a real SSL man-in-the-middle attack against Google. The next one is how iCloud got hacked. It is a similar of man in the middle attack on SSL. This article clearly shows you the technical analysis by using Network Miner. Here are some of the useful links about the tool. First link is the official page of the tool. It's the NetroSec website. Next one is the resources link where you can find documentation for the tool and also some of the challenges or PCAP files and also some of the policies involved within the usage of the tool. The last is the download link where you can download the tool. Let's see a quick demo and solve a simple challenge. Let's take the Nitrobar challenge, which is given in one of the assignments in the course. Just about a student sending harassing emails to a professor. And let us see how Network Miner can help us to find some information about that email. I'm using a Windows VM to show the tool. I've downloaded Network Miner free edition already, so I'm just going to run the tool. Yeah, here it is. Oh shit. I also have downloaded the Nitrobar PCAP file, which is here. I'm going to load this on Network Miner. This can take some time, since the PCAP file is like over 100 MB, I guess. This shows the MD5 hash of the file. As I mentioned earlier, that before starting any forensic investigation, just check the hash and compare with the original file and make sure that it's the same file which we're going to start analysis on. Also, Network Miner is a young tool which does so many things, but before performing any analysis, it's recommended to read the policy behind the data or the company which you are working with, because you might not know. I mean, you might end up doing some activities which not even allowed in the privacy policy document. So it's always good to understand the policy of the company or the party you're dealing with before starting any forensic analysis. While it's loading, I will just explain the tabs which are present in Network Miner. First one is the host tab, which will, as I mentioned in the introduction, it will show us host based information. So it's kind of a tree view which shows frames or data behind each host. Next one is the frames tag, which will show us collectively all the frames which are present in the PCAP file. The third one is the files tab, where as I mentioned, it has all the files which are reconstructed by Network Miner. Next one is the images tab. Images are also present in files tab, but here you can view the image as a thumbnail. I mean, it gives you a quick view of all the images. Next one is the messages tab, where this captures all the instant chat messages or email messages, etc. And the credentials tab which will potentially show if any usernames used in any of the communication, and it also has passwords if the protocol is supported. Next one are the sessions, which gives a quick view of the traffic based on the sessions. Which one is the DNS tab, which shows DNS lookups, which or the DNS queries which are present in the captured traffic file, followed by parameters. Oh, I actually forgot to mention about this feature. So Network Miner has a feature to search the entire PCAP file based on keywords. For example, if you know some words which you are suspecting, you can just create a keyword and perform a search based on the keyword. So it shows us information based on the match of the string. For example, in the Nitrobar case, we can just search the PCAP file just by entering the keywords from the email. Like keywords like teaching, running, we can add those keywords and find out what are all the IPs associated with that. And we can also filter by just adding, if you know any of the names which you are suspecting. Like for example, in the Nitrobar we have the names of the students. We could just do a keyword search just by creating a list of last names and find out who has used the actual IP. And then we can also check for messages if there are any based on the keyword. So we could potentially check on credentials if there is any username or password which is being revealed. I think it's taking a lot of time. Yeah, there we go. So here, for example, there's the host tab, which is giving the IP address, MAC address, host name. It's not able to capture the OS. Open TCP ports, packets, send, receive, host details, web server, Microsoft IIS. So it's all about the hosts. There's details about the frames. Here we have Ethernet frame, IPv4 frame, and TCP frame, MAC addresses, files. Just right click on a file. It actually stores the files on a local machine. You can just right click, check the details. Looks like a certificate. Images. Oof. Yeah, this is what I was explaining you. So this gives us thumbnail view of each of the images in the pcap file. Messages. Oh, there we go. We got some information about credentials. Oh, we didn't find any of the passwords in the pcap file. Sessions based on protocols. So if you click on each header, it kind of sorts the data based on the field, DNS entries parameter. So let's go ahead and create keywords for our analysis. First I'm going to add keywords like teaching, running. These are some of the words from. So I'm reloading the case. Oh my god, it's gonna. So these are some of the words from the email, from the harassing email sent by the student. Hope it. Alright, I think it's gonna take some time, so why don't I skip. So I found the IP address involved with the keywords teaching and running, or it's 192.168.15.4 Mac OS. And it's sent from web.mid.edu. Okay. Okay, let's create keywords now based on the. Now we know the IP address involved in the sending the harassing email. Let's create a list of keyword list of the students. Alright, I'm reloading the case now. I think it's taking some time because the pcap file that I've chosen is a bit long. Since it's a free tool, it can be used by companies which really cannot afford budget for network forensics or something like that. Of course, Network Miner has a professional edition which comes in a USB stick, which is quite handy, and it has a lot of capabilities than the free edition. Let me show you the comparison of free and professional tool while this PCAP loads. Yeah. Yes, so this is the comparison of free and professional editions. So professional edition can parse PCAP ng file, can do port independent port protocol identification. It has the capability to export results to CSV or Excel. Configurable file output directory, GeoIP localization, DNS whitelisting, host coloring support, command line scripting support. Here's the catch, $700. Still loading. Although it can perform live sniffing, it is not recommended to do live sniffing using Network Miner because it has a limited buffer which can be very slow while capturing network traffic. So I recommend to use Wireshark to capture the traffic and load the PCAP file generated by Wireshark to Network Miner to perform further analysis. It's taking a while. Oh, you got one message. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So you found johnnycoachj@gmail.com using macOS, same IP. You can check the message. Yeah, there we go. We have johnnycoach@gmail.com. Let's see if his password is visible. No, unknown Google password. So there we go. So Yeah, so we found jcoach@gmail.com, which is Johnny Coach. I couldn't find any other people's name here, but I remember finding Amy Smith in one of the email. The next step would be reconstructing the network data using TCP dump and finding out it's either Johnny Coach or Amy Smith, and it turns out to be it's Johnny Coach who has sent the harassing email. That's it. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm sorry, I have some slides still to go. Yeah. Oh, here are some of the references which I used. Thank you.